Yo, what's going on, man? Good morning to everyone in the chat. It's 4/6/23, so April 6, 2023. I'm your boy Chris. I'm the host of the Crispy Captain NBA show, but this is the Cashed It with Chris NBA show. Just live right now, only on get my mic right. Just live right now, only on YouTube. This will be recorded and distributed via podcast platform at a later time, probably about 10-15 minutes once I'm done. We got I think it's 6 games on the NBA slate, so I want to talk about those games. As you guys join, it would help a lot if you guys hit the like button for me as you guys join. Retweeted the show as well. And let's get into it for today, man. Hopefully you guys made some cash yesterday. I know it was a pretty crazy NBA slate yesterday, and I kind of did want to start with a recap. It was a crazy NBA slate yesterday. I wasn't official on anything, but if you guys tuned in yesterday to the Crispy Cap and NBA show, I really liked the Knicks team total. I talked about staying away from the spread. The Knicks blasted the Pacers yesterday. Pacers defense continues to just give it up to pretty much everybody they play against. We saw the Lakers have the schedule loss, which I kind of anticipated after having to go to overtime. Second leg of a back-to-back, first game back home, even though it was a road game, and third game in 4 nights as well for them. That 4 game win streak came to an end, and they lose to the Clippers last night. And there was some other action in the NBA as well. I want to give you guys a little bit of insight on just something that I've kind of picked up on. I talked about it yesterday a little bit as well, and during the evening show. And that insight is, with these games kind of being wrapped up, you see a lot of teams just not that don't have that much to play for. You see them kind of a little lackluster on the defensive end. I think we saw a lot of that yesterday. The Boston Toronto game, of course, stayed under, but that game kind of had some meaning to it. Let's see, the Knicks and the Pacers game flew over the total, went over by 37.5 points. Brooklyn and Detroit. Brooklyn magic number is 1. They win one more game and they're locked into the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference, but that game still went over by 13.5 points yesterday. Washington and Atlanta. I talked about Washington team total specifically, and Atlanta not playing a lot of defense. That game goes over by 16.5 points yesterday. Even with the total, I think it was set at about 233. So that game goes over. Um, Toronto and Boston, like I said, that game went under, but Toronto had a lot to play for. Chicago just can't shoot threes, so they stay under. I think that game says a lot about them yesterday as well, only scoring 92 points against the Bucks that didn't have Giannis. Chris Middleton also got hurt early as well. So overall, though, the Pelicans and the Grizzlies, that game goes over by 43 points. Of course, they go to overtime because the Pelicans, try to almost get a game away late last night. And then Sacramento and Dallas stays under the total, but the Lakers and the Clippers also go over. So a lot more overs yesterday than unders, and I think that may be a theme that kind of continues to the day. You see these low totals and these teams that not don't have a lot to play for. Of the games today, we really only have 2. Where you kind of see guys probably go really hard in my estimation, and those games are the Miami Heat and the Philadelphia 76ers, which I'm gonna get into in a second, and then also OKC and Utah. Game has a lot of playoff meaning behind it as well. But not talking about Portland and San Antonio. Could care less about that game. Also, Denver and Phoenix kind of feels like, what's the motivation there? The line is moving in favor of Phoenix. Denver got smashed in the last game, got called out by their coach as well. They lost to the Houston Rockets, got smashed by the Houston Rockets as well. So not sure what the motivation will be there, and what they're going to do with their guys. Denver's already cemented into the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, and Phoenix isn't going anywhere. They're going to be locked in as the 4 seed as well. So not a lot of meaning in that game. We'll see what kind of goes on with that one. I don't see a reason. I'm not sure what the lineup's going to look like at this time of the season. Last week of the season, both of these teams have like 1 or 2 games left. I don't see a lot of meaning in that in this game specifically. So kind of difficult to handicap from from that perspective. And I think you got to kind of wait and see who's in and who's out for those teams. But a couple of the games I did want to get into, and shout out to the chat, man. What's up, Sean? Damon, Mr. Wood, Mr. N. Wood, Tony, Markel, my guy, Jerson as well. Let's get it. So, let's talk about the games I wanted to touch on just a tad bit here this morning. So, this Cavs and the Magic game, also a game that doesn't have a lot of meaning as well, right? I mean, not the most meaning. I think. What up to AOD? What up, Anthony? Appreciate y'all in the chat. But let's get back. Let's get back to this to the Magic and the Cavs game. So the line in this one actually opened at 7. I saw that. Well, it shows that it opened at 4.5, and of course, JB Bickerstaff has already ruled all his guys out, and that's why I see the line kind of move. Throwaway game for the Cavs. They've already clinched the third seed in the Eastern Conference playoffs, and they'll host the fourth seed, the New York Knicks, in the first round of the playoffs. So this game means nothing to them now. They've already ruled out Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Isaac Okoro, and Karis LeVert. All 6 of those guys have been ruled out. So if you're paying attention, that's the starting 5 and Karis LeVert all out. It's got to be a Magic spot. That's your 6-man and your starting 5. On the Magic side of things, they did lose the last game because this was, one of those like mini series. But they got to push, depending on where you got the number. They got to push because they low key kept that game close a little bit longer than I think a lot of people thought that they would. This team has covered 9 games in a row, and they just continue to play the right way. They play a really good brand of basketball. Coach Mosley could have got this team to kind of tank towards the end of the season, and they're actually one of the teams that were pushing for the for the last seed in the Eastern Conference, but they didn't get there. They just lost a few games. The loss to the who did they lose to? They lost to a team not too long ago that really kind of killed them, killed their chances. But this Magic team played well, man. I think that they come out here. They also had nobody listed on the injury report. It's also a home finale for this team as well. I think they play their last game of the season. Let's see, the Magic got two games left. So they finish at Brooklyn on tomorrow. So first leg of a back-to-back for them. And then they finish the season on Sunday. What's tomorrow? Yeah, they finish on Sunday in Miami. So I think that they continue to play, just the right way. I think that they continue to play hard. And if I'm playing this game, I am looking towards Orlando. I actually played Orlando. I played them last night. Smaller play, but I did take the 7, the 7.5 as well. One of my books had a 7, one of them had a 7.5. So I did lay that with Orlando. I think Orlando comes in here, plays basketball the right way. And I'm not sure who's going to score for the Cavs. The Cavs will legitimately have a roster tonight that's going to, consist of, like I said, it's a throwaway game for them. But I'm pretty sure they're going to start maybe Raul Neto and Rubio and Cedi Osman and Dean Wade and maybe Evan Mobley, little brother, or Diakite. So yeah, I think the Magic should win this game by double digits tonight. If I'm playing the game, then I'm laying the points. You do see the money start to come in. I think it probably closes at about 10. I'm not sure if people and you typically don't want to take the Magic, but this is more so a fill spot. It's a fade spot as well. You see the Cavs team total. The total has dropped in this game. It opened at 223. It's all the way down to 219.5. So you got the home team 113.5. I think that they go over that. They should be able to score that many points or more. And then you got the Cavs at 104.5 without any of their starters today. So yeah, if I'm playing the game, I'm laying the points, and I already laid the points. I laid the 7.5 and the 7 with the Orlando Magic in this spot. Let's see. Vaughn said definitely noticed a few more overs yesterday. Yeah, they cashed yesterday. Sean said Rubio assists. I could see Rubio getting his assists. The problem is, I mean, he's gonna have ample opportunity to get them. Do those guys knock down the shots? We know that the Cavs can struggle to score offensively. Do they have enough, guys to actually make the shots? I guess Dean Wade and Lamar Stevens and Cedi Osman. I guess they can't make some shots, so I couldn't talk you off Rubio assists. It's gonna be some value though, Sean. I like the way you're thinking. It's definitely gonna be some value over on on the Cleveland Cavaliers side once the player prop lines get posted uh for this team. I don't see them posted right now. Also couldn't talk anybody off Wendell Carter Jr. Looking at his double double. I think he had one in the last game, and he's been kind of hovering around that 10 points and 10 rebounds line. And my thought process is that if you can get 10 rebounds, he's been getting the 10 points. If you can get 10 rebounds with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley in, you definitely should be able to do it with them two out. So I like Wendell Carter Jr. today. And I think his double double was plus 100. Didn't lock it in quite yet. The odds didn't change overnight. But if I'm looking at a player prop, I think I like Wendell Carter Jr. His double double actually just went to minus 105. Probably my favorite player prop in the game is Wendell Carter Jr. to get a double double. But like I said, I did lay the 7.5 and I laid the 7. Let's see. Matt P said he's thinking about a teaser. Orlando minus 4.5, OKC minus 2.5, minus 110. I can see that. I can see that. It definitely makes it a little bit safer, but I think this spread might be off just a little bit, Matt P. I think this one could be off. Couldn't talk you out of little 2-leg teaser though. I spent enough time on that game. Let's move on. Let's see. Markel said, "Don't ever tease in the NBA. Teasing in the NBA can get you hurt for real, and that's why, like I said, I'll take the line at 7.5. I just don't see how this version of the Cleveland Cavaliers team is going to be anything shorter than 10 points less than the Orlando Magic team. So, not that it's not value, but one leg can, it's upsets that happen every single night in the NBA. So your teaser could, go to trash really, really quickly. If OKC loses the game outright tonight, because the Utah Jazz aren't quite eliminated. I'm pretty sure that's what Markel is talking about. What up to my guy Mitch, man? Appreciate you being here, Mitch, in the chat, man. Drop some looks off. I know we were talking earlier about some player props you was looking at. If you got anything, definitely share it, my guy. What up to Wayne? Shout out to Wayne as well. Appreciate y'all for being in the chat, man. Hit the like button for me if you guys can. Share the show as well, especially as we start to ramp up for the playoffs. And let's keep going. So Heat and the 76ers game is next. The next one that I want to touch on. Let me get back to my notes. So let's see. So line this one opened. I saw the money actually start to come in on Miami in this spot. It opened at 5.5. It's down to 3 at most books, and you start to see the total come down just a tad bit. I see it down to 219.5. It opened at 220.5. So money coming in on Philly in this. Money coming in on Miami looks like 81%. Of the 66% of the tickets is on Philly. 81% of the money is on the under. And 83% of the tickets is on Philly as well. So interesting game here. Let me break it down real quick for you guys. We got the Heat, who I can't get behind this Heat team. They are 6-4 in their last 10, but also just 4-6 against the spread. Philly on the opposite side, we know that they play well as a home favorite. They're 25-15 against the spread at home, 5-5 straight up and against the spread in their last 10. I checked the injury report because I just want to make sure Philly's kind of cemented into their seed as well, which is I think is the third seed in the Eastern Conference. So they'll get the 6th seed, which most likely will be the Brooklyn Nets. For when the playoffs start. I didn't see James Harden or Joel Embiid on the injury list. I did see, however, and I'm only curious because I want to see what Doc does with those guys. PJ Tucker, he is listed as questionable. D'Anthony Milton as well, and Tyrese Maxey. So you could wait and kind of get that, get the injury news for those guys. On the opposite side, the Miami Heat do have Kyle Lowry and Bam Adebayo listed as questionable as well. The Miami Heat team hasn't played, in 2 days. And the way that this one kind of sets up, the Heat, they are in the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference right now. They're a game and a half ahead of the Atlanta Hawks. And it's the first leg of a back-to-back. They play in DC against the Wizards tomorrow. Probably not a look-ahead spot at all in that game. And I mentioned Kyle Lowry and Bam being questionable already. Miami has won both games in Philly already this season, interestingly enough. Um, with Philly actually taking the game that was in Miami. So each team has lost on their home floor throughout the first 3 games of the season series. Of course, tonight is the last night. Philly on the opposite side, like I said, they kind of locked into the 3 seed in the East. They do play in Atlanta on Friday, and they finish up the season Sunday in Brooklyn as well. So similar to the Orlando Magic, this will be the home finale for them. The difference is the Orlando Magic not going to the playoffs, and Philly's going to end up hosting the playoff series. Uh, so looking at the Heat, looking at the 76ers, the first thing that jumps out to me is the under in this game. Total at 220 and a half. I actually thought that this one would get steamed down. It didn't know. It's still 220 and a half on a lot of books. I look at this Heat team, they are not really good. They're just not good. They're 25th in points per possession allowed, and 29th in effective field goal percentage in the last 2 weeks. I also compared them. I looked at the comparable games, the teams that they played, because they've been playing some weak teams. They're 3-1 to the under as road dogs after the All-Star break, and they're going under by an average of 16 and a half points. A lot of it is they just can't score the ball. They've been held under their team total in all 4 games, and they've averaged just 94 points. I'm sorry, 96 points in 4 games. And those games came against the Bucks, the 76ers, the Raptors, and the Knicks, all playoff teams, right? So I'll say that again. Heat 3-1 to the under as road dogs after the All-Star break. And those games are going under by 16 and a half points. They're only scoring 96 points per game. This total seems a tad bit too high for me. You also look at the Heat, just season wide, they're 0-4 straight up and against the spread on the first leg of a back-to-back. When they're a road dog, they stay under their team total in 3 of those 4 games, in 3 of the 4 games as well. And they're losing those games by average of 17 points, and only averaging about 99 points in that spot as well. Continuing, the Heat on the road after the All-Star break, if they're facing a team that's better than they are, 0-3 to their team total as well. So they don't score a lot of points when they're playing up to competition. You look at the Sixers. I also checked the Sixers out. Sixers are 6-2 to the under as a home favorite after the All-Star break. In those 8 games, those 8 games are staying under by an average of 12 points per game as well, and they've held 6 of their 8 opponents under their team total in this spot also. So then the last thing I checked was pace after the All-Star break. These teams are dead last in pace. Both the Miami Heat and the Philadelphia 76ers are dead last in pace post All-Star break, and throughout the entirety of the season for the most part as well. They're both bottom 5. I didn't check to see what that number was, but if I'm playing this game, I'm only looking towards the under. 220 and a half seems like a lot of points. Like I said, I kind of expect this number to drop, and that would be my top look of the day for this game. I know that I saw something earlier about Embiid needing to only score a handful of points to make sure that he gets the scoring title. It's him and Luka Doncic that kind of battle between the two. And Luka has some ground to make up. I think Luka needs to score about have back-to-back like 45 or 50-point games in order to catch Embiid if Embiid only has like 23 points in one of these games for the scoring title. So those are my thoughts on the game. Like I said, I haven't seen anything with about Embiid or Harden not playing. So I do think that they play, but they don't have a lot to play for. Beating this Miami Heat team would kind of almost cement the Miami Heat not to be able to catch the Brooklyn Nets. And then you would kind of control your destiny based on who you get to play in the first round. And the Miami Heat, if I'm guessing the Philadelphia 76ers, they may not have a preference. But if I'm the Philadelphia 76ers, I probably want to see the Brooklyn Nets before I want to see the Miami Heat. Just because Miami has kind of had this team's number. Like I said, they've already won 2 games in Philly throughout this season. And we know that this is the team that put them out of the playoffs last year when Embiid was hurt. James Harden wasn't 100% in that series as well. So for all of those reasons, I like the total in this one. I like the total to go under. I think that it stays under the 220 and a half. Probably be my favorite look. Maybe my favorite look of the whole entire day. Real quick, Let's see. Mitch said hero threes, 8.5 per game attempts. Last 6 games, 76ers give up threes to guards over the last 7 games, or it could be Struce. It's really difficult to know which one of those guys is going to be. But looking at hero or Struce threes, I couldn't talk you off of that at all, Mitch. 3 times that 76ers are going to give the Nets the last game. They could rest. 70 the Brooklyn Nets number is only one though. They only need to win one. Their magic number is one, and they've kind of cemented their spot as well. And then I never can pronounce this. He said, "Did you play it?" I did play it. I played the under 220 and a half. I don't want to go official with any of these plays right now, just because we could see things kind of change throughout the day. As far as somebody could sit late, and that could impact the total. If Joel Embiid does sit, like I said, he's not on the injury report, but if Joel Embiid does sit, we know that the Philadelphia 76ers play with a lot more pace. But I'm confident. I'm pretty confident in this play. Like I said, not an official play because I don't want things to kind of change throughout the day uh as far as injury report. But I did play the under 220 in this game. It's like I said, it's probably my favorite play of the day. Philly and Miami to go under 220 and a half is what I got the number at. Saw that it was dropping on some books, so I locked that in this morning as soon as I woke up. I had already capped the total last night. All right. Uh Back to the last game, which is the last game I want to talk about anyway, which is the Thunder and the Jazz. 77 people watching live. It was 80 watching live. Hit the like button for me if you guys can. Thunder and the Jazz. So 6.5 point spread here. It looks like it opened at 5.5 in favor of OKC, who's a road favorite in this one. Total opened at 236.5 and is went up to 238. Uh, so let's break down the scenario real quick. The Thunder in the 10th and final spot in the West. For the play-in, they would get the last play-in spot and have to travel to whoever was in the 9th seed if the season was to end today. They have the same record as the Dallas Mavericks after last night. The Mavs got the big win last night against the Kings. But they hold a tiebreaker. So what that means is that the Mavs will have to hope that the Thunder don't win out. If the Thunder win out, then they make the play-in tournament for the most is how it goes. But if the Thunder lose and the Mavs win, the Mavs just have to finish with a better record. So the Mavs need to win out. They need the Thunder also to lose as well. This Thunder team, will host the Grizzlies at home on Sunday, and that'll be their last game. The Thunder, they're a tricky team, man. 4-6 straight up, and only 2-8 in their last 10 games. Also, they're 0-8 against the spread. They haven't covered a spread, which is absolutely insane. I'll tell you the big injury in this one that's going to be, which is why I wouldn't play this game till late. Lou Dort is listed as questionable in this game, and he's going to be, big. The Jazz are kind of taking this game away. Colin Sexton came back in the last game against the Lakers that they lost 2 nights ago, but he's already ruled out. Lauri Markkanen is also out. Walker Kessler's done for the season. Jordan Clarkson is out, and Rudy Gay. All of those guys are all out. So that's a lot of scoring. But this Jazz team continues to play hard, man. They are only 3-7 straight up in their last 10, but they've covered 7 of their last 10 spreads as well. So 7-3 against the spread in their last 10. And they've also covered 4 in a row and 5 of their last 6 as well. They host Denver on Sunday and play in LA versus the Lakers. They play Denver on Saturday, host Denver on Saturday for the last game of the season, and they play in LA against the Lakers on Sunday for the last game of the season. This one is a difficult one to cap, man. I think you kind of got to wait for all of the information. The Thunder should want to win this game. They should want to cover this game as well. But we know that you can win without covering. The Jazz continue to play really, really hard. Will Hardy has those guys kind of locked in. I read some stuff about, how they're not winning, but they prepare to win every single day. They just don't have the talent. Doesn't mean that they're not going to stay in the game. When you think about guys like Chris Dunn, who has kind of, played his way back into the league and earned a multi-year contract just from playing hard, playing defense. You think about THT, right? So this team still has a lot of guys that want to play hard and contribute to winning basketball. Will they win the game? Probably not. But will they keep the game closer than 6.5? I think so. I think will they keep it closer than 7? I could see so. I could see that. So, like I said, I think you got to wait on. In my estimation, you got to wait on Dort in this spot. And then as far as the total perspective, I know that the total is pretty high. 238 is a pretty high total for a Utah Jazz team that really, struggles to score the ball. The Thunder also on the opposite side, but I'll say this: the Thunder, the Utah Jazz at home, when they're home dogs, they typically score more points, and those games go over the total. No matter who they have in the lineup, you look at this roster, and you're like, how are they going to score? Somehow they figure out a way to score. They also just don't play a lot of defense either. On the opposite side, in contrast, the Thunder, they're 6-1 to the under as road favors, including 4 straight. Those games are actually staying under by an average of 10.5 points. So to me, I kind of, contrarian look, I think will be towards the under. If this total continues to go up, I probably will end up playing it under. Also, the implications of this game, the Thunder, the Jazz mathematically aren't eliminated from the playoffs, play-in tournament, but they probably won't make it. The Jazz kind of need this. The Thunder kind of need this one. I think I said the Jazz. The Jazz aren't mathematically eliminated from the play-in, but they probably won't make it. The Thunder are in the 10th seed, and if they really don't want to tank the season, then they should win this game, but they should probably do it with defense as well. Their defense did not look great in the second half against Golden State the other day, but that's kind of to be expected. So if I'm playing this game, First of all, I'm waiting to see if Dort gets ruled in. I think that'll tell me all I need to know about how serious the Thunder are. Also want Dort in if I want to take the under because he's one of the better defenders in the NBA. So I want him in if I'm playing the under. But the way I'm looking at the game, I'm looking at it to go under the 238. Haven't played it yet because I do want to wait on the Dort news. And I think the Jazz going to struggle to score in this spot. I think the Jazz also going to continue to play hard, and it might be a little more difficult for the Thunder to score in this spot as well. So I like the under. I know it's a contrarian look, but I like the under in this game. And that's really all I got for you guys. That's all I got. Let's see. Mitch said SGA points, Jalen Green steals and blocks, and Kelly Olynyk rebounds. I can see all of those. SGA, anytime he's not on the second leg of a back-to-back, Chris Dunn will have his hands full trying to stay in front of SGA tonight. Jalen Williams, LEN, brown skin Jalen, steals and blocks. They just been cashing. They've been cashing left and right. So couldn't talk you off of that. Kelly Olynyk, he's one of the only big men that they have left, so his rebound opportunities should be there. We know that the Oklahoma City Thunder bottom 5 throughout the entirety of the season as far as giving up rebounds to big men. So Kelly Olynyk can't jump that high, but he does a really good job of, getting in the right spot, boxing out, all the fundamental intangible stuff. Good morning, Dick. Appreciate you being here. Kelly Boersmith says, Thunder coach talked about defense in the last post-game interview. Yeah, they got to play better defense, Ron. They have to if they want to, be in these games, potentially win a play-in game as well. And that's what their aspiration. That's what they continue to say that their aspirations were. But he also, and I get it. He also to me, he just sounded like he was kind of content with the loss against Golden State the other day in the game that they probably should have won. And I get it, bunch of first, young players, rookies, sophomores, even third-year players, they're kind of developing talent. It's a good experience for this team to go through what they're going through. I just want them to win a little bit more. Let's see. I know this is a little bit off topic, but are you still setting up the YouTube membership? I keep forgetting, man. But yeah, I am going to set up the YouTube membership for anybody who wants to join. It'll be some exclusive access and some live plays. All my plays will be posted on there as well. So I will be setting up the YouTube membership as well. I'll get to that. Maybe I'll try to get to it today. I'm so busy most of the time if I'm not sitting in front of this computer doing shows, but I appreciate that. Jazz Blazers over. Lou, I'm not 100% sure. I see the spread actually moving in favor of San Antonio. It opened at 2. It's all the way up to 4.5 now. 4.5. To me, that says that maybe Shaden Sharp sits. Honestly, I don't even know who playing in the game. I will say that 228 is a very, very low number in today's NBA. I didn't cap the game though, Lou. Whatever it is that you think, man. Whatever it is that you like. Mitch says SGA points and Giddy assists, J-Dub steals and blocks, and points, rebounds, and assists for Kelly Olynyk, plus rebounds, turnovers for Abaji. His 3-pointers made, and Isaiah Joe 3-pointers made. Isaiah Joe has been hooping. I might look a little more into Isaiah Joe. I like Isaiah Joe a lot. Appreciate you sharing that, Mitch. Membership by playoffs? Absolutely, Ron. I'll have a membership only by the playoffs for sure. We're gonna make a lot of money in the playoffs too, man. I'm extremely excited about the playoffs. We get some meaningful basketball. Hey, Mitch, relax, bro. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Lou. 228 does seem a little low, but yeah, those are the 3 games I wanted to talk to you guys about. If you guys wouldn't mind doing me a favor, just hitting the like button for me, sharing the show. It's always gratefully appreciated on my end. Also, check out the pod. Check out the pod as well. If you guys are wanting to show some support, just download the podcast, Cast It with Chris. It'll be available in about 10 minutes after I'm done. Link also posted in the chat as in the description as well. Let's see. Everything that stands out without digging in too deep, I'll narrow it down on Twitter. Yeah, give my guy Mitch a follow on Twitter. Markel says, think I'm gonna wait till playoffs. MLB is taking over my brain. Yeah, MLB is. I did cap the MLB as well. I looked at the MLB slate. I got a couple looks that I haven't kind of locked in yet, but I got some looks. I capped it. I am capping MLB again this year. If you guys were with me last year, you know that we had some success. Shout out to my guy Ronald, man. Shout out to Ronald. We capped the MLB. Did a show pretty much every day on Let's Cap. Mitch said he's on Atlanta, the Braves today, first 5. Who do the Braves been smashing the who are they playing? They playing the Phillies, right? The Braves been smashing the Phillies. I feel like if the Phillies had a chance to win a game, it probably was gonna be yesterday with Elder on the mound. Now the Braves have Spencer Strider back on the mound versus Blake Snell. The Braves they batted well against lefties last year. I definitely remember that. But Snell's okay. I like Snell. Snell's okay, man. I like Snell. Braves on fire right now. Bats are hot though. I will say that they've been scoring left and right. So also 5-1 on the run line. The Braves are so far, and looks like Mitch said he's on them first 5. Yeah, it's gonna be a good game. I'm excited for that game. 7:20 tonight. I'll probably end up watching most of that. Dustin May versus Merrill Kelly. What we looking at there, Mitch? I know Merrill Kelly, your guy out in Arizona. Let's see. Mitch got Braves. Let's go Braves. Strider versus Snell. The leans that I have for the lean that I have for today, Markel. I actually let me get to my notes section. I was looking at Blue Jays, Kansas City. Gosman versus Laos. Laos coming over from Boston. I was looking at the first 5 to go under. I know that the full line opened at 9, and it's come down to 8. I know that Laos has some experience pitching against Toronto, being in the division last year when he was in Baltimore, and Gosman has played well on the road, and the Royals just struggle to score. They are bottom in on base percentage, slugging percentage, runs scored. Like they just don't score a lot. So yeah, this one's supposed to be an MLB show, but yeah, I just kind of share that with you guys. I was looking at either getting on Toronto first 5 or playing the first 5 under. I didn't play either one of them yet, but I do think that even in the MLB with them trying to get more runs created, steal more bases, the pitch clock. I think both of these pitchers do well in this spot today. I'll be looking towards the under. Kansas City 4-2 to the under throughout the season so far. Like I said, just not really scoring a lot of runs. Austin Riley over 1.5 total bases. Mitch said he's on that plus 140. So he would need a double, a triple, or 2 singles. I like it. 1.5 spread went 10-2 year to date, and they 72-19 on the season. Mitch said he liked Gosman over 6.5 strikeouts. I'm gonna keep that first 5 in mind. Thanks. Yeah, absolutely, Markel. Like I said, I'm gonna not start posting MLB plays until after the basketball season is over. But I like it, man. I like it a lot. Mitch said Gosman leads the whole American League in Ks to walk ratio last year. He led the league. I think he deals today. Yeah, I like Gosman, man. Gosman is he's good. I like Gosman a lot. Made some money with Gosman last year. up in Toronto. I like him on the road as well. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys, man. 35 minutes in the books, 85 people here. Hit the like button for me if you guys can. Like I said, I'll set up the membership for you guys. It'll be cheap, man. $2.99, $3.99, something like that a month. And come with some exclusivity of Crispy Capping. So that's what I got for you guys. Recap real quick. I'll put the banner up at the bottom and let you guys know what I'm looking at, because I didn't do so yet. But if I had a top play today, it would be I like Orlando on the spread. Like I said, I got the 7. I got the 7.5 as well. So I'll put both. The line's moving up. I think it only continues to move up throughout the day as well, though. Also looking at Miami and Philly under 220. Number still widely available. I don't see Miami scoring a lot of points tonight. Those would be my top 2 looks. Also, strong look towards, and they posted at the bottom, also strong look towards Wendell Carter Jr. to get a double-double tonight. I like Wendell Carter Jr. I don't think that Coach Mosley rests his guys tonight. I think Orlando tries to, leave their fans with a lot tonight, of what's to come. This team is building. They will be good next year. They'll be a lot better, I think, next year. All these rookies kind of getting some more time in the system. So I think they want to lead their fans with a show tonight. I think that they win the game by double digits tonight against, a team in Cleveland that has nothing to play for. And like I said, already ruled out their top 6 guys. So I like Orlando. I like Miami, Philly to go under 220. Miami just hasn't been able to score lately. So that's what I'm looking at. Hope you guys enjoy the content. Hope you guys appreciate the content. I would play Orlando minus the 8.5 as well, but that's probably a cutoff for me, Inwood. That's probably a cutoff for me. I think they win the game by double digits. I'm not going to endorse anything other than the 8.5, but I do think that they win the game by double digits tonight. I don't think it's going to be too close tonight, as long as they don't rest anybody. And I think that's why you see the spread start to get a balloon a little bit as well. But that's what I got for you guys. Best looks at the bottom. Appreciate you guys for tapping in with me. I will be back at 5:30 Eastern time today for the Crispy Captain NBA show. Best of luck on all your actions today, and anybody dabbling a little bit in the MLB, man. Best of luck. I'm out.